top showing you he scored 38 points. The Lakers won 131-120. Even without Joel Embiid and James Harden, the 76ers defeat the full-strength Miami Heat 113-106 behind Tyrese Maxey and his 28 points. Huge win for the Sixers. And without Kyrie Irving, the Nets hold off the playoff-bound Jazz behind Durant's 37 points. The Cavaliers lost. The Nets are now only 3 games back from that number 6 seed, which they would need to avoid the play-in tournament. Hey, guess who's here? Jalen Rose. Jalen, good to see you. Thanks for popping in on Get Up this morning. Nets coach Steve Nash said that Ben Simmons has a herniated disc in his back. This is presumably bad news. Do they need Ben Simmons if they're going to make a run?
Yes, they do. And if that run is going to include winning the Eastern Conference, which would mean upending the defending world champion Milwaukee Bucks, led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday. It would also mean upending the Miami Heat, who won the East 2 seasons ago, led by Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. It also means holding up the Boston Celtics, led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The East is just tougher at the top, and you can't take the journey for granted. Kevin Durant is one of the top 2 or 3 players, regardless of who's making the list in the league. Kyrie Irving is a top 12 player in the league. That's why you need Ben Simmons, however, Graz, to focus on their weaknesses, in particular, their defensive versatility on the perimeter guarding multiple wings. They will need him if they're going to win the East.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kyrie. This is still a guy that's only going to be eligible to play half the games as far as we know now because he can't play in New York City because of the vaccine rules. The 76ers beat Miami last night without their top 2 stars, Joel Embiid and James Harden. What did you think when you heard those guys weren't going to play against Miami?
And obviously the Philadelphia 76ers, the only reason why I didn't mention them is because the Nets waxed them when they played. And Joel Embiid and James Harden were in the lineup. What does it say about Philly beating the Heat without Embiid and Harden? Not much of anything. Because when they play in the playoffs, those guys are going to be available. It's a terrific regular season confidence booster, however, for Doc Rivers, his coaching staff, and also the supporting cast. It gives Maxey a chance to play quality minutes without Harden and be a primary ball handler. Tobias Harris gets more opportunities. So for Philadelphia overall, it's great for their depth and for their roster. But the meaning really won't take place because Harden and Embiid will definitely be key cogs when the playoffs start.
Yeah, but I mean, Legler said that earlier on in the show. You don't think that, I mean, somebody could get hurt in the playoffs. They may have to play without one of those guys. Nothing like this can carry over in that situation?
Hey, Graz, let me tell you something. The 3 or 4 teams I just named for you, if James Harden or Joel Embiid is injured, they're getting bounced anyway. They're going to need both of those guys to be healthy. The East is stout, and both of those guys are magnificent players.
All right, over the West, where LeBron James said he was having the time of his life last night. And after watching him play, you could understand why he would say that. What was your takeaway from his performance last night?
That he's 37 years of age dunking on people still. And Kevin Love, you played with that man. What are you doing? What are you doing? You'll see a lot of footage of Jalen Rose playing 4 years of high school, 3 in college, and 13 in the NBA. None trying to take a charge on somebody that's going to dunk on you. And that's supposed to be your man, Kevin Love. LeBron James is invited to his wedding. You just got uninvited. And I'm going to tell everybody something. With friends like this, who needs enemies? Right before this, they did like a 15-minute handshake, Graz. They touched each other's heads. They touched each other's shoulders. They touched each other's elbows. They touched each other's knees. They touched each other's feet. And then when the game starts, you're just going to dunk on me like that? Put on a triple-double performance in your hometown and clown me in the process? Oh, man, it's not a good morning to be Kevin Love other than the fact that he gets paid a lot of money to play in the NBA.
LeBron did say afterwards he hopes that he's still invited to the wedding. But what about these Lakers? I mean, if they get if they get AD back, excuse me, I'm fumbling the name. Can they make a run?
Here's the problem with AD coming back. LeBron has been outstanding, and he, like, if the Lakers were in playoff contention, would deserve MVP consideration. And anytime you're about to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at some point, you must acknowledge that. Anthony Davis is a top 10 talent in the league. However, when he returns, that means they're going to be a part of the play-in. That means they're going to have to exhale and get in the play-in. And once that happens, they'll likely be an 8th seed. And you know what happens when you're in the 8th seed in the West? You face the best team in basketball, the Phoenix Suns, who eliminated them last year. And I'm here to tell everybody, I love the dominance that I'm seeing from LeBron playing basically 5 positions. And I know the greatness of Anthony Davis. But if they play against the Phoenix Suns in the first round, they getting bounced just like last year. And Anthony Davis was actually injured when they played last season.
Anthony Davis been out so long I can't remember his name. Before we let you go, we want to ask you about college basketball because Michigan is in the Sweet 16. How have you been enjoying watching
Hail
that
to the
ride
victors!
so far?
Absolutely. I'm really happy for the University of Michigan basketball team, the men's and women's. Happy for Juwan Howard. It was such a great performance to see Hunter Dickinson and Frankie Collins make plays. Eli Brooks played really well. Ty Will came off the bench, got us a couple of tip-ins. Like, it was a total team effort. It was great to see C-Webb and Ray Jackson at the second game as we advanced to the Sweet 16. And you already know I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. On Thursday. You already know I'm getting ready to be at the game on Thursday. We need to do this. But I respect the journey. And Jay Wright and the Villanova Wildcats are a terrific, well-coached team. And we understand it's going to be a tough battle. But I like my position for my Wolverines, and I ain't minding bringing a pair of scissors if somebody gonna need some, if they need assistance in cutting down some nets.
No easy outs from this point on for sure, but Michigan is used to being in the Sweet 16. 5 straight tournaments they have reached this round, and Jalen, we want to give you a little sneaky Hembo trivia question off of that. We're going to answer it after the break. I'll let you take the break to think it over. But Michigan has reached the Sweet 16 5 straight years. That is the second longest active streak of any team.